Hi, welcome to the Friday vlog. I am excited to be here. Actually, no, Chip is not here. So first, hi, Chip's mom.
Yes, hi, Chip's mom.
Although I think Carmel-by-the-Sea is the happiest place on earth, actually, Chip and the family are at the other happiest place on earth, which is Disneyland. So I hope that they are just having a wonderful time. So you have myself and Chief Panholzer as our guest on this Friday vlog. So let me just give a quick report out on some things for this week. The first really important thing is we received our very first payment in the amount of $455,836, which is the local fiscal recovery fund, which was part of President Biden's allocation American Rescue Plan Act.
Excellent.
So we're really excited about that. We did budget that money as to be determined, and you will see that we will be bringing that back to council at a forthcoming city council meeting to discuss how we will use that money. There are certain uses and criteria and categories that we can use that money for. So we have to make sure that we are in line with those strict guidelines. But again, we will be coming to council to recommend some items and hear from them. So stay tuned on that. Another big thing, as I'm sure you're well aware, is recruitment.
Yes.
Lots of recruitments throughout our city right now. I'm happy to report that we have a lot of finalists in different stages of our hiring process, from our public safety to our planning department. So we are really, really busy, and we have probably about 10 more that will be getting up and running. And we've been doing a lot of panel interviews and testing. So we are staying busy to, again, get the city, up and running as quickly as possible. And on that note, I know we've been receiving a lot of inquiries about our library, and again, that's an area that is a priority. We are working as quickly as possible to set up our library so it is safe for our employees, for our customers. So we're getting that set up with plexiglass. I'm sure this is also more plexiglass. Right up here is more plexiglass. So we are working feverishly on the library so that we can, again, make it a safe space, not only for our employees, but for our customers who visit us. I know everyone's excited. So please know that that is definitely a priority for the city. Another reminder that I received from our finance department is that business licenses must be postmarked on or before August 2nd. So again, we just ask for your patience. They are processing the business licenses in batches. Please expect about 30 days for you to receive your updated business license. If you haven't received it within 30 days, please do not hesitate to give us a call. But again, thank you. We are receiving those business licenses. If you saw our front counter, it's just filled with business licenses. So thank you for those that have already submitted. And let's see, a couple more items. Oh, another great, I think, fiscal saving item that we did is that we did submit our CalPERS unfunded liability check, which saved the city about $61,000. We weren't able to do that last year, just financially with everything going on. And it just goes to show, I think, the great work of City Council, administration, all of us pulling together so that we can be in a better fiscal situation this year. So I'm happy to report that we've saved about $61,000. We're constantly looking for alternatives and ways to save money. And finally, the last thing that I have, and why I have Chief Panholzer here this morning, is that, one of the goals of our city council, a strategic goal, was to ensure that the city's natural areas are both public and private are properly maintained to reduce the fire risk. And I know it's kind of hard when I, wake up and it's 55 degrees outside and it's gloomy and it's drizzly, but around California, there's it's fire season. And so it is a priority for our organization. And I just want to have Chief Panholzer talk about all the great things that Monterey Fire Department and our city have been collaborating on because it is a priority for this organization.
Well, thank you, Maxine, and thank you for having me here today. And yes, it's a little easy to get fooled into thinking that we don't have a wildland fire problem around here when we have to run our windshield wipers as we commute into work. And don't let that fool you, though, because wildfire season is certainly up and running in the state of California. We, as of July 1 of this year, there had already been more acres burned and more actual fires happen in California than last year. And as many of you probably recall, last year was an extremely devastating fire season with over 4 million acres burned in the state and the worst fire season in recorded history in the state of California. Outlook for this season is that it could very easily be the same as it was last year or even worse. And so we definitely need to do our part in preparing. And we know this drizzly weather will go away, and we probably will see the sun that we typically see in the September-October timeframe, and that's typically when we are at our greatest risk here. So we need to make sure that we're prepared for that. And among those things that we are doing as a city is your firefighters have been out inspecting the properties around town.
That's
and
great.
We're pretty much done with the first round of inspections to determine
Great.
which homeowners have done a good job of providing a defensible space. And remember, what we're looking for there is, have you cleared all the dead brush and grasses out of your property, mowed down the grasses to a very short height, and eliminated dead branches in trees, and made sure that you have good clearance around your chimney, spark arrestor on your chimney, a whole lot of things we're looking for. And those properties where there's still some work that needs to be done, our fire prevention division folks will be following up with those homeowners and tenants to make sure that they know exactly what it is they can do to make their home safer, and will help make sure that everybody is compliant with that. Certainly, if you have any questions about what's being done, or if you got a notice and you're not sure what to do, or if you're not sure about whether or not your neighbor's property is in good shape, feel free to call the Fire Prevention Division. Their number is 831-646-3908.
And I'll add that to the Friday letter. So we'll make sure that we put that number in the Friday letter as well.
Okay, and we can also make sure we add their email. It's fireprevention@monterey.org. So that way we can make sure that people have a way of reaching out if they need some assistance and or have some questions, because we certainly want to make sure that everybody fully understands what it is that's expected, and can also report if they see something that's of concern to them. On the city side, the city has some property that they are responsible for, and we make sure that we do our part as well. And I'm pleased to report that, first of all, I want to once again thank the volunteers that have done such a phenomenal job in Mission Trails Nature Preserve. It's an incredible group of people that have done a really outstanding job. And I think the best part about what they're doing is they're doing it with advice from experts that know how to maintain a healthy forest, because my motto always is, a healthy forest is a safe forest. We live here because we love the forest, and so we want it to be healthy and stay, but we also want to make sure it's fire safe. So they've done an incredible job of cleaning up in there. And the good news is that the city just received a grant from the California Coastal Conservancy in the amount of $45,000. That's a reimbursement grant, so we can do work in the Mission Trails Nature Preserve to do some more cleanup, especially in those areas that have been challenging for the volunteers to work in because of the steep terrain, et cetera. And $45,000 will go a long ways to do a lot of good work in there. And elsewhere in the city, the Public Works has been actively working on cleaning up and mowing and pruning, et cetera, and it all contributes to that healthy forest and a fire-safe community. Some areas we need to wait a little bit longer with this drizzle. We still get a little bit of late season grass growth, and so it doesn't make any sense to mow in May and June, but it's getting time now. And I know that in the field up by in the Mission Trails Nature Preserve, up by the Flanders Mansion, that field, we have to wait until the Hickman's onion is done doing its thing every year, so because that's an endangered species. So
Yes, it is.
that's one of the things that delays a little bit. So if you're wondering why isn't the city doing anything, it's because there's all sorts of considerations there. So in any case, we want to make sure that everybody does their part and the city does its part, and we can all protect this wonderful village from any devastating fire. Another bit of related news is I was just on a call yesterday with several of the leaders, including Mayor Potter of the area here, with our 5th District Supervisor, Mary Adams, and we talked about wildfire safety, but we also talked about evacuation, and that's, I know, always something that's big on people's minds, and because of COVID, unfortunately, the county update to the countywide evacuation plan kind of got put on hold, but I reached out to County OES, and we're working on it, and the good news is that the draft should be done within the month, and probably public review opportunity in August, September timeframe, and then on to finalizing and publishing. So
That is great news. And we'll make sure when that comes out, we will make sure
Absolutely.
that we let everybody know that. So that's great news. Thank you.
So yeah, and on that, once again, thank you for having me here, and I hope everybody's enjoying their wonderful summer and and staying fire safe.
Yes. Okay. So again, thank you. Thank you to our volunteers. Thank you to our employees. We cannot be doing the great work that we're doing without both our employees and our volunteers who are just dedicated to this village and making it, again, a safe, beautiful place that everybody wants to come and visit. So again, a very great big thank you. And in the words of our good fearless leader, Chip, take good care.